Shalom, shalom, walla walla. Matter of fact, it's the Shabbat, so wabati walla ma and Shabbat shalom. Alright. If you bear with me, man, how y'all doing? I hope all is well, all palaka tawab. I'm here for a quick minute. Alright, because I just wanted to show you the fall of Jerusalem. Okay, so we can get an understanding about the fall of Jerusalem and where it was actually at, and to understand that Babylon. Okay, we went from Jerusalem, and we're talking about the last kingdom. Okay, the southern kingdom of Judah. When Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had took the people of Judah and brought them back, brought them to Babylon, and so you have a lot of authors out there saying Babylon is in Canada, Babylon is in the Americas, but I'm going to show you that Babylon, Babylon, Edomites, Esau is actually in where you call Mecca, or where you call quotations the Middle East, which is Africa, but it's in the tribes of, or the lands of Arabia, by the Euphrates. It's in the land of Iraq, in Syria. So we're going to show you from 2 Kings chapter 25, how the fall of Judah, the fall of Jerusalem, the captivity of Judah, real fast, and how Judah was carried from Jerusalem, from Jerusalem, to, which is in northeast Africa, to Babylon, and it's going to give some description, especially what you see right up right now. You see Riblah, they was carried to Riblah, from Mishpah, from Mishpah, which is in Jerusalem. Some was caught in Jericho, was caught in Jericho, and was taken up to Riblah in Syria. So when you talk about Babylon, Babylon would be those 5 cities in what you call the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. So this right here just proves, that America is not Babylon. If you pay attention to the scriptures, the fact that America would be the Israelites, America would be their, I just had it, I forgot it. Actually, a friend to Israel. America will be an ally. Again, America would be an ally up until a certain point, but America will be an ally when the falling of Mecca, or falling of the Edomite kingdom, which is these 5 cities around Syria, or 5 cities in Babylon, which will be Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and some other cities. So let's just start, as you can see on this map. We're going to start right there. And that's the fire burning in the background for those of you who don't know. We still got the fire burning. We still got the fire burning. Alright. So alright, so pull out your map. Pull out your sword. Alright, let's go over to Kings 2 Kings chapter 25. Okay, we're already there. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 25. Alright. I'm gonna allow you to get ready. Alright. We'll get ready, and then we're gonna get an understanding. Okay, we're gonna get an overstanding about where is Babylon, for one, and where is Jerusalem. Alright. For people who saying Jerusalem is in America, okay, well, let's see if you can allow these landmarks, alright, to place these landmarks in America. You won't be able to, okay? You can only place them where it actually happened, in present day, alright, in present day Jerusalem, alright. Okay, I'm gonna allow you time to get ready. Okay, so alright, let's get it popping. Okay, so it says, now this is the fall and captivity of Judah. Okay, now remember, Assyria had already, Israel had already went. The other 10 tribes already went into captivity. Okay, so now these are the tribes that are with Judah. Okay, so, and it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign. Okay, the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. Alright, so this happened in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month. Alright. Okay, so this would have happened in January. January being the 10th month. Okay, the 10th month. Okay, in the 10th month of the 10th day. This happened in January 10th. Okay, after a 9-year rule of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came he and all his hosts against Jerusalem. Okay, against Jerusalem, and pitched against it, and they built forts against it round about. Okay, so that's what happens when they're about to attack it. They build forts up around it, all right, with armies. Okay, and the city was besieged. And the city was besieged unto the 11th year of King Zedekiah. Okay, now this was the 11th year of King Zedekiah of Judah reign. Okay, all right. So, and on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed. The 9th day of the 4th month. All right, so it went back. All right, after the 10th month, then it kept going. So then the next year on the 4th month, so that would have been around July. All right, on the 9th. In the 9th day, July 9th of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land. Okay, and the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled by night. Okay, by the way of the gate between the walls. All right, so we had men of war fleeing. Okay, of the gate between the walls, which is by the king's garden. All right, now the Chaldees were against the city round about. So the Chaldeans were against Jerusalem. Okay, and the king went the way toward the plain. Okay, and the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All right, and all his army were scattered from him. Okay, so when you talk about Jericho, all right, that's around about Jerusalem. Okay. So Zedekiah was taken in Jericho. All right. Okay, pursued him and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his army were scattered from him. Okay. 2 Kings 25:6. So they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon to Riblah, and they gave judgment upon him. Okay. So they took him from Jericho and brought him up past Damascus, through Damascus to Riblah. All right, Riblah, which is in Babylon, like it says. Okay. Brought him to the king of Babylon to Riblah and gave him judgment upon him. Okay. So now, where is proof of that? That this king Zedekiah, right? This king Zedekiah, all right, who was an Israelite, right, was took and brought to the king of Babylon by the Chaldeans to Riblah and gave him judgment upon him. All right, so if we go back to 2 Kings 23 and 33, so let's go to chapter 23 just for verification, for a witness. Kings 23, all right, and 33. Okay. Okay, it says, in Pharaoh Necho, right here, 23 and 33. All right, you there? Okay, it says, and Pharaoh Necho put him in bands at Riblah. Okay, put him in bands at Riblah. Okay, Riblah. What does that mean? A place in Syria. Riblah. Okay, as you can see, Riblah is a place in Syria, meaning to be fruitful, fertile. Riblah, a place in Syria. Okay, not the Americas. Okay, not the Canadas. Okay, they took him to Riblah, the land, in the land of Hamath. Okay, Hamath. Okay, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and put the land to tribute. All right, he taxed the land. Tribute, he put a tax on it of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. All right, so he taxed Jerusalem after he caught Zedekiah, took him and to be judged. Okay, 34. And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim. Okay, and Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim the son of Josiah. Okay, Eliakim is the son of Josiah. All right, he made him in the room of Josiah his father, and turned his name to Jehoiakim. All right, so Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king, in the room of Josiah his father, and turned his name to Jehoiakim, and took Jehoahaz away. All right, took Jehoahaz away. Remember, Jehoahaz was evil. All right, was evil according to the Lord. Okay, took Jehoahaz away and came to Egypt and died there. And he came to Egypt and he died in Egypt. Okay, and let's go to 35. And Jehoiakim, all right, which this is Josiah's son, the son of Josiah, King Josiah. All right, Eliakim changed his name to Jehoiakim, gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh. Okay, he ain't want no problems, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. Okay, So Jehoiakim had to tax the land because it was the orders of Pharaoh. Okay, because these letters were from Jeremiah telling them, look, just do what you're supposed to do and we'll be good. Okay, but other tribes, they didn't want to hear that. The people didn't want to hear that. A lot of people didn't want to hear that you're supposed to be a slave in this land and do what you got to do. You under the king of Babylon. All right, you're going to be a servant to the king of Babylon. Just do what you got to do. That was the Most High's orders. Okay, so this was all ordained by the Most High. Okay, so and Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. He exact the silver and the gold of the people of the land, everyone according to his taxation, to give it unto Pharaoh. Okay, so we can see where he was sent to Riblah. All right, let's go back to 25. Okay, so we can see that he was Zedekiah, King Zedekiah, was taken from Jericho and was sent to Riblah. All right, in the land of Hamath, that was the city of Babylon. Okay, so they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon to Riblah. Okay, as I said again, Riblah, a place in Syria, and they gave judgment upon him, and they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and they put out the eyes of Zedekiah. They took his eyes out, and they bound him with fetters of brass and carried him to Babylon. Okay, Babylon. All right, confusion is what it means, Babel. Okay, so and they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and they put out the eyes of Zedekiah and bound him in fetters of brass and carried him to Babylon. Okay, to Babylon. So we know that Babylon is in those cities, right? In those 5 cities of Arabia, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. So they took him somewhere over there, right? Okay, 25 and 7. Okay, so let's go to Jeremiah 39 and 7. Okay, Jeremiah warns Zedekiah. Okay, he warns Zedekiah. Okay, it says, thus saith the Lord, okay, Jah of Israel, thus shall ye say to the king of Judah that sent unto you me to inquire of me. Okay, behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt until their own land. Okay, thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, thus shall ye say to the king of Judah that sent you unto me to inquire of me, behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land. Okay, Pharaoh's army, right, which were the Chaldeans, and the Chaldeans shall come again and fight against this city and take it and burn it with fire. Okay, they burned Jerusalem with fire. Okay, they burned the house of the Lord with fire. Okay, and Zedekiah the king sent Jehucal the son of Shemaiah and Zephaniah the son of Maasai to the priest All right. The prophet Jeremiah saying, pray now unto the Lord. So that's what he had told him. Okay. So Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, reigned in Nebuchadnezzar, the son of Jehoiakim, who Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, made king in the land of Judah. All right. So remember, Jeremiah wrote letters to who? Wrote letters to Ezekiel, right? Telling him the same thing. So if you go over to Ezekiel 17, Ezekiel 17 and 16, okay, as I live, saith the Lord of God, surely in the place where the king dwelleth, that made him king, whose oath he despised, and whose covenant he brake, even him in the midst of Babylon he shall die. All right, he shall die. So he's talking about this king Zedekiah. All right, how he was carried to Babylon. Okay, and he should die in Babylon. Okay, so let's go back to 2 Kings 25. Okay, verse 8. And in the 5th month. Okay, now we're in August. Alright, the next year we're in August. And in the 5th month, on the 7th day, August 7th, alright, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar. Alright, 19th year. Okay. So we went from the 9th year to the 19th year. Okay, this is 10 years later. Alright. And then the 5th month, alright, which is August, on the 7th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar. Alright. King of Babylon came Nebuzaradan. Alright. Nebuzaradan, okay, king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan. He was the captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem. Okay, and he burnt the house of the Lord. Okay, so Nebuzaradan, right, the captain of the guard, a servant of King of Babylon, of Nebuchadnezzar. All right, he was reported to Jerusalem, and he burnt the house of the Lord and the king's house. Okay, he burnt the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt he with fire. Okay. So, that day, in Nebuchadnezzar's 19-year reign, on August 7th, okay, his servant, captain of the guard, Nebuzaradan, burned the house of the Lord. Okay, this is 2 Kings 25:19. Okay, so let's go to 2 Kings 24:12. And see what we see. (24:12) says, and Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother and his servants and his princes and his officers. And the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign. Okay. Let's go to Jeremiah 52:12. All right, the fall of Jerusalem recounted, 52:12. The temple burned. Okay, it says, now in the 5th month, in the 10th day of the month. Okay. Alright, so now it's saying, the first one said on August 7th. Now this one is saying on August 10th, which was the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, which served the king of Babylon, into Jerusalem, okay, and burned the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the great men burned he with fire. Okay, so this is Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah, remember, he was writing letters to who? Ezekiel. He was writing letter to Ezekiel, letting him know what will happen. Alright, so as we can see, Jeremiah confirms what happened in 2 Kings. Okay, Jeremiah confirmed it. Okay, and all the army of the Chaldeans that were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem round and about. Okay, so that's how the walls got broken down. Okay, the walls were broke down. Alright, from the Chaldeans. Okay, let's go back to 2 Kings 25. Okay, so 25:9 says it. It was confirmed by Jeremiah. It says, and he burnt the house of the Lord, and the kings of the house, and the king's house, and all the house of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt it with fire. Okay, every great man's house he burnt it with fire. And all the army of the Chaldeans that were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem round about. Okay, broke down the walls. That's why we had to go into Jerusalem and repair the breaches thereof. Okay. Now the rest of the people that were left in the city, and the fugitives that fell away to the king of Babylon, with the remnant of the multitude of Nebuzaradan, and the captain of the guard, he carried away. Okay, he carried away. But the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land. Okay, so he left the poor people in the land to be vine dressers and husbandmen. Alright, so he left them in to work. Okay, he left them in to also tell the story of what happened. Okay, and the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the bases, and the brass sea, and the brazen sea that was in the house of the Lord, did the Chaldeans break into pieces, and carried the brass of them to Babylon. And the pots, and the shovels, and the snuffers, and the spoons, and all the vessels of brass wherein they ministered, took they away. And the firing pans, and the bowls, such thing as were of gold, in gold and silver, the captain of the guard, he took away. He took away. 25:16. 2 pillars, 1 seat, and the bases which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The brass of all these vessels was without weight. The height of the 1 pillar, 18 cubits, and the chapiter upon it was brass, and the height of the chapiter 3 cubits, and the wreathen work, and the pomegranates upon the chapiter round about all of the brass, and like unto these had second pillar with wreathen work. And the captain of the guard took Sariah, the chief priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, and the three keepers of the door. Okay, out of the city he took an officer that was set over the men of war, and 5 men of them that were in the king's presence, which were found in the city, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land, and 60 men. All right, and the principal scribe of the host. Okay, sound like, I don't know, it sound weird. Of the host. Which mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. Okay, was he a scribe of the host of heaven, and not, you understand, and not the owner of the host of heaven, not the God of the host? Was he a scribe of the angels? All right. Okay, so that means he was a scribe of idol gods. Okay, which mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. And Nebuchadnezzar Adin, right, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon. All right, to Riblah. Okay, he brought them to Riblah, as we seen, that was past Damascus, from the city of Jerusalem into Riblah. And the king of Babylon smote them and slew them at Riblah, in the land of Hamath. Okay, and the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, smote them and slew them at Riblah, in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away out of their land. Okay, they was carried away out of their land. Okay, they were carried away out of their land. Okay, so now this is about the remnant, right? The remnant that flees. All right, that flees. Now, this how America comes into play. All right, because they flee to Egypt. Okay, they flee to Egypt, and some of them flee to Egypt. That's how they were put on ships. Okay, they were put on ships to bring them to America, another Egypt. Okay, so they were put on ships from one Egypt to another Egypt. All right, where they would be sold as bondsmen, right? How they would become prisoners of war, right? So we have our descendants Moroni and Aki, right, at this time, that would flee to the Americas. All right, to the Americas, which would be another, as you call it, Garden of Eden. Okay, so they would see. All right, you have, and then after that you have Joseph. All right, Joseph Smith. All right, who would also come to the Americas, prophesy, coming to the Americas. All right, that will witness slave ships and other things coming here after that. Okay, so when you get 22, so a remnant flee. All right, and I'll show you why. Okay, and as for, we on 25 and 22, 2 Kings. And as for the people that remain in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left, okay, even over them he made Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, ruler. Okay. All right, so he put a ruler over there, right? that he know would do exactly what he asked. Okay, and so when all the captains of the armies, they and their men heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, okay, there came to Gedaliah to Mishpah. Okay, so Gedaliah was in Mishpah. Okay, Gedaliah was in Mishpah, which was in Jerusalem. Okay, to Mishpah, even Ishmael. Okay, Ishmael. Okay, now Ishmael, the son of Nathaniah, and Johanna, the son of Kareah, and Sariah. Okay, Sariah, the son of Tehumesh, or Tanhumeth. Okay, so Sariah is with Ishmael. So Ishmael and Sariah, the son of Tehumesh, or Tanhumeth, the Netophathite, and Jezaniah, the son of Makathite. Okay, they and their men. And Gedaliah swear to them. Alright, they approached him. Right, and he's swearing to them what Jeremiah prophesied. He's swearing to them and to their men, and said unto them, fear not to be the servants of the Chaldeans. Dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you. Okay, same thing as Jeremiah said because of the punishment. But Ishmael wasn't trying to hear that. Okay, but it came to pass in the 7th month. Okay, I think October, that Ishmael, the son of Nathaniah, and the son of Elishama, of the seed of Royal, came, and 10 men with him, and smote Gedaliah. They killed him, that he died. Okay, and the Jews, all right, well, at that time you can call them actual Israelites of Judah. Okay, all right, and the Chaldeans that were with him, they smote them in Mishpah. They smote them in Mishpah in Jerusalem. All right, because the Chaldeans were captive over us in there, and they was telling them just chill, but no, they weren't trying to hear it. So they did like the Sakari, start stabbing cats up. Okay, and all the people, both small and great, and the captains of the army arose. Okay, they arose and came to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. Okay, because remember, Nebuchadnezzar set Gedaliah over them. Okay, over Jerusalem to be governor. Okay, so if they killed him, then that means they had the war with the Chaldeans. So Chaldeans was going to start killing folks. All right, so therefore Ishmael, okay, and Sariah, son of Tehumesh, okay, killed him. Okay, so then you had men great and small start fleeing. They got up out of Jerusalem. They left. They got scared. They left Jerusalem. So that's how we left Jerusalem. We were not supposed to leave Jerusalem. Okay, we were not supposed to leave Jerusalem. We left Jerusalem. Okay, and that's how Ishmael took over. Okay, that's how who you got now in there, the Jewish Edom, that's how Edom took over, because we left. Okay, we left and we went to Egypt. Okay, and then you can see as we were sold from Egypt to everywhere, to the four corners, we were scattered. All right, and so that's how you have the prophecy of Aki and Moroni, which is in the book of remembrance. Okay, that's how you have them prophesying and coming to the Americas, because a great multitude of us said, you know what, we're gonna go over here. All right, we gonna go to this. All right, we're gonna go to the Americas. So you had them coming to the Americas. All right, and they also said when they got to the Americas that it was also other people there. So it was all nations that were in the Americas. It wasn't just the children of Israel, of Judah, that were in the Americas. It was other nations also. It was other people in the Americas when they got over here. Okay, so. Okay, okay, so now when we talk about Edom, all right, and we told you about the Saudi Arabia areas, okay, that is the daughter of Babylon, or Mystery Babylon. Okay, so if we go to Psalms 137, okay, all right, and twist up a lot to my brother Adoniah Ben Yasharella, who actually had input on this subject. Okay, we go to Psalms 137. So when we talk about, you see how they set Jerusalem on fire, right? So now the Lord has promised that he's going to set the areas of Edom, okay? The mystery Babylon is going to be set on fire. Okay, the areas of Mecca. Okay, Mecca will be set on fire. Alright, will be condemned by the Most High. Okay, we're not talking about the Americas. We're talking about these cities of Saudi Arabia, Iraq. Okay, these cities over. Okay, when you talk about the north. Okay. North, the Babylon, north, that's north of Israel. Okay, so when you talk about Psalms 137, okay, and you go to verse 7 and 8. So it says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Okay, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. Alright, remember what they did in the day of Jerusalem. Remember, they burned down all our cities. They burned down all our houses. Who said, rise it, burn it to the foundation thereof. Okay? Remember, they said, burn it to the foundation. Alright? It says, and we just read that over in 2 Kings chapter 25. Alright, where they burned our houses. They said, burn it to the foundation, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Okay, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Okay, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Okay, because remember, you did those same things to us. Right? So Babylon will be repaid. Okay? The daughter of Babylon will be repaid. Okay, so we go to Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah 2 and 6. Okay, it says, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north. Okay, flee from the land of the north. It's not talking about Canada. Okay, it's not talking about the Americas. Okay, it's talking about north of Jerusalem, north of Israel, all right, which is Mecca, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith the Lord. Okay, deliver thyself, O Zion, all right, because he spreaded us to the four corners of the earth. He said, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Okay, in the north, come out of there Alright, for it will be destroyed. Mecca will be destroyed. Okay? For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory have he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye. Okay, so he says that he's going to dwell in the midst of us. Alright, in Jerusalem. Okay, so if we go to Ezekiel 25 and Lamentations 4 and 1, it says the same thing. Alright, about that he's going to repay the sin of Edom. He's going to repay the sins of Edom. Now it's time for there. Alright, our sins are done. We're done sinning. We're done paying for our sins, and now it's time to pay the sins of Edom. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel. That's in Lamentations 4 and 1, but let's go to Ezekiel 25 and 13. Ezekiel 25. Okay, prophecy against Moab and Seir. Okay, Moab is Seir is the lands that are in Babylon. Okay, against Moab and Seir. Okay, it says, let's start at 8. It says, thus said the Lord, Ja'alah, because that Moab and Seir do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. Okay, therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab. Okay, Moab from the cities, from his cities, which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country, Beth Jeshimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim. Alright. Unto the men of the east. Alright. Quadim. Unto the men of the east. Okay. East. This is another verification. To the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations. So he's going to destroy the Ammonites to the men of the east with the Ammonites. Okay? And I will execute judgments upon Moab. Alright? And they shall know that I am Ja'alah. I am. Okay? So the prophecy against Edom, as you see, Ezekiel 25:13. Thus saith the Lord, Ja'alah. Alright, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah. Alright, we just read that in 2 Kings 25, by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended. Alright, and revenge him upon them. Alright, when they start killing, they killed Sariah. Alright, therefore, thus saith the Lord. Okay, Ja'alah, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman. Alright, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Alright, from Teman. The name of 2 Edomites, and of the region, and descendants of one of them, South Teman. Okay, and from Teman, as they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Okay, let's just see something once. How'd you know? Okay, as you can see, Timon and Dedan is in Saudi Arabia, Mecca. Alright, you see these 5 cities: Kedar, Sia, Duma, Dedan, Timon, Saudi Arabia, and Mecca. They're gonna burn, man. All praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. Okay? All praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. Now, you see Kedar. Alright, you see Duma, Seir, Dudan, Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Timon. Okay? This is your mystery ancient Babylon. You see it right there. You see it right there in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia. Okay? Alright, you see it. Alright. So he says, and I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God. Okay, now this is a prophecy against Palestine. Alright, so let's go over to Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 verse 20. Judgment on Ammon. Remember the Ammonites. Let's go to 49, 20, and 21. Judgment on Edom, concerning Edom. Right? But let's go down to 20. Okay, it says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Timon. Of Timon. Timon in Saudi Arabia. Alright, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, of Jah-Allah, okay, of Yahweh Allah, Yahovah Allah, Yahuwah Allah, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he that proposed against the inhabitants of Timon. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitants desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. In the Red Sea. Aki. In the Red Sea, Aki. In the Red Sea, Aki. So when you talk about the Red Sea, what's this? Next to Saudi Arabia, next to Timon, Duma, Seir, Kedar, Dedan, Mecca is the Red Sea. Now are you going to say the Red Sea is over here? Are you going to say the Red Sea is the Great Lakes? The Red Sea, Mecca. Alright, so, man, Y'all lay off your false teachers. Lay off your wicked shepherds, man. Or the ones that just don't know no better. Okay? Or the ones that just don't know no better. Okay? This is not Rome. Okay? I know you say Rome is falling. This is not Rome. Okay? Believe it or not, Rome was once Israelites. The Isles, the British Isles, we already know. Alright? We already did it 1300 Arbor Oath. Okay? The Solemn Nights. Those were Israelites. Okay? So, therefore, okay, so the Red Sea. Okay? So, did you catch that in the Red Sea? So when you talk about Psalms 83 and the people that have joined confederacy against us, right? In which we have already, hit Psalms 83 over and over again. Oh, Ja'Allah, do not keep silent. Okay? For they have consulted together with one consent. Okay? And they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom. Okay? The tabernacles of Edom. Alright? As you can see, Ishmael, what he did. Alright? When he killed Gedaliah. Alright? When he had killed Gedaliah, which was an Israelite. Okay? He wasn't trying to hear none of that. Okay? So when he killed Gedaliah, the Ishmaelites of Moab. Okay, so when it talks about Moab, I'm going to come holler at you. These are our brothers. Alright? And the Hagarenes. Gabal, when they talk about the Ammonites. And Ammon. And the Amalekites. And the Philistines. Okay, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Okay, Asher also is joined with them. Our brothers and sisters. They have opened the children of Lot. They helped the children of Lot. Okay? So, do unto them as unto the Midianites. Alright? As to Sisera. As to Jabin at the brook of Kison. Alright? Which perished at Endor. And they became dung of the earth. Alright? So they're going to become dung of the earth. Hallelujah. All praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. Alright? In the body of the Hamashiach. In the body of Jesus Christ. All praise the Most High. Alright? In the body of Jesus Christ. Alright? So as you can see that the prophecies are adding up. Okay? The prophecies are adding up. So ignore when you hear somebody talking about the great Babylon, the mystery Babylon is America, is Rome, is Canada. Know right then that those are wicked shepherds. And they might not even know they wicked. So they just might be some false teachers. But Samuel in the book of 1 Samuel says rebellion is wicked and witchcraft. Okay? Rebellion is wicked. When you rebel from the scriptures, when you rebel, alright, from the prophecy that adds up, is witchcraft. Alright, it's wicked. Okay? Yeah, it's witchcraft. It's rebellion. Alright, so I think we covered. We didn't cover everything. But we covered enough so you'll know that in these Arabian countries, Saudi Arabia, all right, Timan, Qadar, Mecca, all right, where they hold the big cobblestone and worships it. Okay, as you can see, those are your brothers who double cross the Most High and double cross you. Okay, so America will actually be your ally, okay, to go into these nations. For kings and queens will be your nursing mothers and fathers. Okay, Rome and America, okay, will be your nursing mothers and fathers. Okay, so our plan, the Most High's plan is our plan. And our plan is to continue to seek reparations, to go over, to rebuild what they once tore down, to rebuild what they once set on fire, to rebuild, all right, the streets of Jerusalem, to rebuild the city of David, the tabernacle of David, to build Mount Zion, to breach up the gates, all right, to build up the wall, to redo those things. So in order to do those things, all right, reparations is a biblical principle. All right, it's a biblical principle. All right, so the biblical principle is for us to get reparations. All right, to return to Zion. That is our duty and that is our command from the Most High. Okay, that is our duty and that is our command from the Most High. So we're asking for them to blow the dust off the Corey 14, Thomas Jefferson. He already put it in the bill already. For them to allow us to arm ourselves and to come out with reparations to repatriate. So we're asking, we're demanding, we are commanding you by the word of Jah, by the word of the Most High, the word of Abba. All right. That you must give us reparations. All right, and remember, reparations is just means to repair. Okay, you're going to repair our breaches. To repair, that's what reparations mean, is repair. We need to repair our people, all right, and our kingdom of the Most High. So we need reparations to repatriate back to the city of Zion. Okay, to build it up. Okay, so we can go give the Lord our 10% to build up that kingdom. Okay, and it's already in it's already a go-go. Okay, so we need them to blow the dust off the Corey 14 to start this process. Okay, Thomas Jefferson, if you go into my videos, you'll check out that Thomas Jefferson bill, Corey 14, where we talked about it, where we were over in Washington, D.C., petitioning for that bill to stand, to go on the desk, all right, of the so-called law writers, right? All right, and that day, that night when we left, seriously, man, Jah Allah had lightning strike, okay, the National Monument. Lightning actually struck the National Monument in Washington, D.C. the night we were petitioning. Okay, seriously. All right, and before the Feast of Tabernacles, glory of the Lord came into his house. Okay, his house. All right, a cloud, a pillar of cloud, which what the Most High says that he is always in, came and bowed down in the middle of the house of the tabernacle. All right, so this is real deal. All right, so we know about the borders, we know about the plagues that's going on, and we know about the borders that closed it up again. So we might not, I'm not even going to say we might not. Inshallah, it's the Lord's will for whatever happens. So if we don't be in Zion because of the borders. They might say, well, you might have to get, you might have to take the, what do you call it? The shots. They might say you might have to take a shot to go over. Oh, you might have to take the, you know, whatever they call the, you know, the COVID-19 shot. I'm not doing that. Okay. So therefore, if that happens, then we're going to have to pray for Jah Allah to act on our behalf. Okay, but if we're not allowed into Israel, okay, by the Israeli government, then we're going to be back in Washington, D.C. Okay, standing firm, all right, in petitioning to bring out that bill, the Corey 14 bill, and to tell Pharaoh to let our people go. All right. Okay, telling Pharaoh to let our people go, because remember, this might be Egypt, but this ain't Babylon. Okay, so we're going to be petitioning to tell Pharaoh to let our people go, so that we could go in to worship and seek our Lord's face. All right, Matthew 8:11, even Christ says, many gonna come from the east and the west to sit down, the north and the south to sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, that's where the Lord is going to appear. All right, so we must go to his feast. All right, but like I was talking about with rebellion, if you go to 1 Samuel 15 and 23, 15 and 23. All right, those of you who still have a chance to change from your wicked ways. All right, 15 and 23, it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Okay, so if you rebel against the Lord, no, you under a spell, homie. All right, and if you teaching other people to rebel against the Lord, you under a spell, homie. All right, so even the Messiah said, if you teach other people to not follow the laws of the Most High, to not follow his laws and commandments, you will be least in the kingdom. All right, and that law, part of that law is Deuteronomy 16 and 16, Exodus 30:34. All right, is seeking Mount Zion. All right, seeking Mount Zion. Okay, so unless you go to Mount Zion, what are your feast days? Okay, Amos 5 and 21, he says, I despise your feast days. I will not smell your solemn feast assemblies. He's talking about the brothers and sisters who think they can roast a turkey, all right, which is unclean. They can roast a pig, which is unclean, for feast days, where you call Thanksgiving and all these other days when you're supposed to be coming to the feast of the Lord. All right, you're supposed to be coming to the Lord. Okay, because Amos 5 and 4. Let's find that real quick for you. Amos 5 and 4 says, you want to seek the Lord and live, right? So Amos 5 and 4, we want to seek the Lord and live, says, for thus said the Lord, Jah Allah, unto the house of Israel. All right, you claim to be Israel, right? You are the 12 tribes of Jacob. Seek me and ye shall live. Seek me and thee shall live. All right, but seek me not in Bethel. Okay, we know where Bethlehem is, right? Bethlehem is the same place where Jehoram raised up a calf, the golden calves, one in Bethel and one in Dan. He said, don't go to Bethel. Okay, Bethel is where you see modern day Jerusalem today, where everybody, a tourist site, everybody going over. He said, my land is going to be desolate because you obeyed the Sabbath. My land is going to have its Sabbath. All right, so that land is not desolate. Since the day of its building, it's not been desolate. Okay, they've been over there since day one, every day. All right, so he says, seek not Bethel, nor enter Gilgal. Okay, and pass not to Beersheba, for Gilgal surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to nothing. All right, he says, seek the Lord, and ye shall live. Okay? Lest ye break out like a fire in the house of Joseph, and devour it, and be none to quench it in Bethel. Ain't gonna be nobody to quench it in Bethel. Alright? So it's only one place to seek the Lord, where he put his name at. Find out where the Lord put his name. Okay? Because he didn't put his name in the Americas. He didn't put his name in Canada. He didn't put his name in Babylon and Mecca. Find out where the Lord put his name, and you'll find out it's in Tel Arad, Israel, Mount Zion, the same place, the city of David. The same place. Alright, so y'all make sure y'all stand firm, stand up for the repatriation. Alright, stand up for the reparation to repatriate. Stand up for the Corey 14 bill. Alright, and do your own research. Alright, stand up for the Corey 14 bill. Alright, seek Mount Zion. Start to seek Mount Zion 3 times a year. Start to seek Mount Zion at least 3 times a year. Alright, so you can understand what's going on. Because if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. What land are we talking about? We're talking about Mount Zion. We're talking about Jerusalem. We're talking about the city of David. Okay? They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces toward, saying, come, let us join ourselves to the Lord, Jah Allah, in a perpetual covenant. Okay, that should never be forgotten. We're talking about the feast. The feast will never be forgotten. He said, you forgot my feast. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray, and they have turned them away from my mountain. What mountain is that? Mount Zion. They have gone from mountain to hill. Right? They've gone from mountain to hill. Alright, that's, you know, when you talk about in the Americas, you talk about the mounds. The mounds, you know, you're getting people away from the actual Mount Zion. And you talk about the Indian mounds and the hills where, you know, which is all true. But in order to get to America, we came from Israel. If you are an Israelite, if you are a child of light, if you are a child of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you came from Israel to the Americas. And Mount Zion is now on the Indian mound in South Carolina. You forgot the resting place. That's why all that have found us have devoured us, because we forgot the resting place. And when our adversaries when our adversaries have found us and they kill us and they devour us, this is what they say to our God. They say, we offend not, God, because they have sinned against you. They have sinned against the Lord. So we offend not when we kill these folks, because they offended the Lord. Okay? They sinned against the Lord. They sinned against the habitation of justice. Alright? The habitation of justice is Mount Zion. Come on, people. Stop listening to your false teachers. Stop listening to your wicked shepherds. They might not even know they're wicked, but a rebellion is wicked. Rebellion is wicked. Alright, so Walama Wabati, man. Y'all have a good Shabbat. Man, I love y'all. And if God loves you, he chastises you. So overstand your chastisement. And get on the right path. We all need to get on the right path to the Creator. If you got any questions, hit me on my email. If you want to go to Washington, D.C. because you can't make it to Zion, hit me on my email. Alright? And if you want to go to Zion, hit me on my email. And I will help you and lead you in the right direction. Alright, shalom, shalom.